Countries that joined the Chinese Communist Party's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, also known as One Belt, One Road, have been ravaged by the CCP virus, commonly known as the novel coronavirus. Spain has strongly campaigned for the BRI. Many commentaries pointed out that the Spanish Organ Transplant Community, helping the CCP, avoiding international accusations of live organ harvesting, is the main cause of the pandemic within the country. Spain is one of the worst affected countries in Europe. The CCP virus pandemic has infected more than 240,000 and killed more than 25,000 people in Spain as of May 2nd. The high infection and death rate has drawn international attention to the long-term relationship between Spain and China. Spain has strong political, economical, and cultural ties with the CCP. In addition, Spain's organ transplant community has grown closer to the CCP. In December 2019, the 4th China International Organ Donation Conference was held in Kunming, China, and the Donation and Transplant Institute, DTI, of Spain was the organizer. One of the co-chairs of the conference was Marty Mañalich, a Spanish doctor who was the pioneer of the cooperation between Spanish Organ Transplant Community and the Chinese Communist Party. He is also the former president of the International Society for Organ Donation and Procurement and the president of the Donation and Transplant Institution. The Donation and Transplant Institution of Spain even further established the international cooperation and development in organ donation and transplant under the framework of the CCP's Belt and Road Initiative, when the evil deeds of the CCP performing live organ harvesting on Falun Gong practitioners were exposed publicly in the international community as early as March 2006. After more than 10 years of investigation, the World Organization to Investigate the Persecution of Falun Gong published a list of 891 Chinese hospitals and 9,519 transplant doctors involved in the live organ harvesting. As of January 2020, the World Organization to Investigate the Persecution of Falun Gong published more than 80 investigation reports, 581 audios, and more than 2,000 documents as evidence of the Chinese Communist Party performing live organ harvesting. Among these evidence, there are 58 audio evidence that directly testify of live organ harvesting of Falun Gong practitioners. The spokesperson of the World Organization to Investigate the Persecution of Falun Gong, Wang Zhiyuan, said,
Since the CCP started the genocide of Falun Gong practitioners in July 1999, the development of organ transplant experienced an explosive growth in China. Take liver transplants as an example. The number of liver transplant hospitals in China increased from 9 to more than 500, and the official statistics of liver transplants increased 180 times between the years of 1999 and 2006. In 2007, the number increased 436 times.
The governments of Europe, the United States, and Australia have passed various resolutions to strongly condemn and demand the Chinese Communist Party to stop the forced removal of organs of Falun Gong practitioners. In the face of international accusations, the Chinese Communist Party, unable to produce the source of the large amount of transplanted organs, was in a desperate situation and resorted to the excuse of using the organs of death row prisoners while seeking a way out to explain itself. The Chinese Communist Party referred Marty Mañalich's transplant procurement management, TPM, as the Spanish model. Marty Mañalich became the most respected foreign expert in the Chinese Communist Party's organ transplant community and led other Spanish medical experts participating actively in major hospitals, universities, and forums in China. Under Spanish organ donation law, all citizens are considered organ donors unless the citizen himself or herself clearly rejected the idea in his or her lifetime. This is considered an important reason why Spain became the world's #1 organ donation country. Huang Jiefu, director of the Commission of Donation and Transplantation of Organs of China, revealed to Global Times in July 2018 that the Chinese model of organ transplant borrows from the advanced experiences of Spain. Marty Mañalich spoke to the Chinese state-run media, Xinhua News Agency, on the 27th International Organ Transplant Conference that China is now good enough to be a role model for the world because of its organ distribution and shared computing systems, despite its late start in the field. However, the spokesperson of the World Organization to investigate the persecution of Falun Gong, Wang Zhiyuan, pointed that the CCP's so-called donated organs have no source of tracing the origins on the internet, so the organ distribution system is a lie. Moreover, the majority of the Chinese under traditional and conventional influences are unwilling to donate their organs.
Marty Mayevich helped the CCP establish the Chinese model of organ transplant using the so-called Spanish model and used this to perplex the international community and to diffuse the international community's accusations of the CCP's evil live organ harvesting.
The CCP's illegal organ transplants have been presenting itself on the international stage. In March 2010, European Organ Donation and Transplant Conference held in Madrid invited Huang Jiefu, who was accused of involvement in live organ harvesting, to attend and speak. In August 2013, Marty Mañalich and other organ transplant experts visited Wuhan Hospital in Beijing to introduce the current situation of organ transplant, model, and experiences in Spain. In December 2014, Transplant Procurement Management and Donation and Transplant Institution from Spain, along with Kunming's #1 People's Hospital, hosted the first international organ transplant training course. The Research Institute of Zhongnan Hospital of Wuhan University also hired Marty Mañalich as an emeritus professor. According to Wang Jiefu, without Wuhan, there would be no organ transplant industry in China. Xinhua Net, a Chinese state-run media, emphasized in its report dated July 2018 that Marty Mañalich's transplant procurement, management, and donation and transplant institutes assisted China in the training of more than 1,500 organ transplant coordinators. Wang Zhiyuan said, "The CCP performing live organ harvesting on Falun Gong practitioners is a crime of genocide, and the evidence is plenty. Now, the outbreak of the CCP virus in countries like Spain is God's punishment and warning to those who ignore the persecutors of human rights in the Chinese Communist Party."
Countries around the world, including Spain, chose to ignore and even took the side of the evildoer, the CCP. This is the ultimate destruction of the bottom line of human moral values, and that is why the world is suffering today. This is God's warning.
Wang indicated, "Today, the people are suffering as a result of committing the crime of either acknowledging or assisting the CCP's genocide. If they are not going to repent their actions, then humanity will face an even worse consequence."